Good evening and thank you for joining us on the third episode of Designed. I'm Vivian Toh and this evening I'll be speaking to Sir Show Hong and Pouline Koh from KDU University College. And joining us later on the show is our special guest, Zachary Roland Anthony. He is an educational trainer and motivational speaker who will share with us his thoughts in response to the topic of this evening, which is turning designers into creative assets for commercialization. Now, the objective of this show, I must say, is to raise the standard of the creative industry in Malaysia. This is taking place now as there is a noticeable appearance of cross-collaboration between creative and business, between innovators and investors, and between gifted talents and obtained skills. It is known that with this new age, design thinkers will be the future leaders. We're glad to have two passionate educators from KDU University College on this show tonight to walk us through the process of turning designers into commercially viable creative assets. Show Hong, who is the head of school for the School of Communication and Creative Arts, and Pouline, the academic department head for the Department of Creative Arts. Good evening, Show Hong and Pouline.
Hi, Vivian.
Hi, good evening.
How are you?
We are good.
Banking on both of your credibilities, having obtained masters at a young age and a number of academic appointments, teaching undergraduates in Malaysia as well as Asia. You certainly have seen lots in terms of the trend, what is a popular course and what students enjoy learning. Now, is it true that there is a growing interest of design students that want to be entrepreneurs of their own?
I do see that this is a very exciting and fast-paced times, that I see a lot of positive sign, that which is true that a lot of design students, they are trying to turn themselves into entrepreneurs. Well, definitely the design students are seeing more than ever the successful stories from young entrepreneurs, and they see potential within themselves and in design as well, which adds the value to the business, which they can tap into. So the design students are really looking forward to the time to turn themselves into young entrepreneurs.
How did you find out this interest that is growing in the students that you're teaching?
Basically, if you look at like the trend, of the, I will put it using the term creative industry. I mean that, the young people today have a full awareness of what is going on online, through social media. And designer today or design students today, so they are becoming very multidisciplinary. Like for example, back into the old time, designer will basically as a craftsmanship, and later on, so-called a craftsmanship practice have moved into, like apprenticeship. And today, what we can learn, I think since the early 1960s, design has become a professional degree, which is like available for the young talents who are interested, like to pursue their career, in design professions, to becoming a designer. And designer, basically, people would think about they are the people solving problems, with designer provide, solution. But today, when we look at the whole creative industry, designer not longer only like solving solution, they actually, foresee, what they should, what they should done before, they, like they're seeing problems. So they are the one like actually, to work with, the individual and community to set a new trend, like to actually be the one like initiated, a new way of problem solutions, and at the same time, to like to be part of the creative industry, to not only to like a designer at the old time, sitting at the studio and produce their work. Now they will have to have, multi-talented. They have to be more well-rounded and to bring themselves out to the market.
Now, time has changed
Yes.
with the social media, with new age. Do you think it is helping the designers in terms they need to be concerned about more ways than one to be able to sustain a proper lifestyle? What do you think? Is social media a good thing or a bad thing?
Social media is definitely a good thing, isn't it, Xiao Hong?
Yes, of course.
They
yes.
give a lot of opportunities for the the young entrepreneurs, the designers. But I do believe that the opportunities available for design students to be the entrepreneurs, that speaking of online platforms, they are a lot of them. Example like crowdsourcing platform, whereby the designers will be able to post their work, bid for a job. Or, there are venture capitalists, a lot in Malaysia out there. They are ready to invest into startups company. And, but I believe that with the right mindset, there is a gold mine of opportunities to seize.
I'm curious to find out from Xiao Hong yourself.
Yep.
You have been around places, especially Asia, and particularly in Thailand. Now, I've heard friends and people telling me about how booming the design scene is in Thailand. But coming from you, you have taught cultural courses, right?
Yes.
You probably can explain that further on. What do you see that is exemplary to us?
Okay. Now, the first thing, basically, I have my undergraduate education in Malaysia. Okay, I completed my diploma in Malaysia, and then I further my study in the University of Tasmania in Australia. Okay, so when come to the time when I want to pursue my master degree, okay, I went to Thailand. Okay, now I think people are very curious. Okay, why I went to Thailand and I pursued a master degree. Like basically in the place which is not like famous for design education, but I actually selected the right place. Okay, I went to Chulalongkorn University, and I did a master degree in cultural management program. Okay, what I see in Thailand, the creative industry, the first thing is the Thai government, they actually have so-called a creative culture policy. Okay, but when we look at Thailand as a whole, the cultural industry is basically it has a very strong connection with the cultural heritage management. Okay, which is cultural heritage like oriented. And when we look at it, if let's say like people like always like mention about why the Thai designers are very creative. Thailand creative cultural scene is very vibrant. Now, I think the first thing is because like the education program, they are like very up to date. Okay, which is that students not only like study in the classroom, but they will also actually produce their own products. Okay, and make it available in the market since the time like they were students. So students did not just study in the classroom, and when they finish their studies, and then they will go and serve the industry. What I can see from my student doing there is we always encourage students to have their to have their product, to have their creations to be marketed like at the right place. Like for example, I think people all heard about the JJ market, the Chatuchak market. So that's the place when we visit, then you will definitely see a lot of creative products. Okay, so I think that they have a policy support, and at the same time they have tied it with the right venue to to market like their creative products to like their domestic and international market.
Why do you think it is not happening in Malaysia?
No, I see it's happening in Malaysia now. Okay, I think we like of course, like if we look around like the Asia region, okay, we all I think most of the government are aware of so-called creative economy. Okay, creative economy that we can see, it's also not a very new concept. Okay, but basically based on what I know, it was started in 1997 mainly. Back into the time UK was the first country to have the full awareness of promoting like creative economy. If we look around in Southeast Asia, okay, we can see that Thailand creative industry is more tied with the cultural heritage tourism, like culture heritage. Like in Singapore, that we see that Singapore is also like organizing a lot of like event based. Okay, so they have Singapore art festivals. They constructed the stage of the art performance center like the Esplanade. Okay, and I think come back to Malaysia, I see things happening as first. Like I think not long ago, not many years ago, we also promoting like visual art tourism. Okay, we're promoting visual art tourism. So we have the, like the formations of Malaysia Design Council, okay, to actually to, to bring designers and the expert together, to do something for Malaysia. So I think Malaysia, we are doing it now, and then we still have, a lot of space and room for us to express, our creative talents to the world. So I will see, we will be the next key player in Asia. I'm very confident.
I'm sure myself, I agree. Pauline, do you think, from your point of view, from a personal point of view, having been involved in the design industry a bit, teaching for 6 years now, and you have been, you do participate in exhibitions and all.
Yep.
What would you like to see happen in the next 5 years?
Well, based on my observation, the designers in Malaysia is still pretty much underpaid. Yeah, which is true, isn't it? So what I would really like to see a change in the creative economy will be, the young designers should step up and to join the creative economy. They are the young generation, they are the next generation who will help to drive the creative economy in Malaysia as well. So pretty much, yeah. So designers will no longer be taking orders. They will step up. They will play a more significant role, becoming a strategist, marketing strategies, in order to make lives better, make the creative economies better as well.
Do you think that with the government chipping in, not in terms of financial especially, but also the emotional support, do you think it will help to push them forward?
No, I think if you look at, like the Malaysia government policy, okay, if you look at the National Information Technology Council, okay, which is what we call the INTC, okay, we do, I think the government have a strong support to actually provide so-called the Creative Industry Fund, the Creative Industry Funding. And then, based on the information that I have, there's a total of 200 million, okay, has been allocated fund, for the creative talents, okay, to apply. And then we even have, a very clear category, okay. The categories like that we can see, like for example, they have like the audio visual and new media. So under the audio visual and new media, like project related to 3D animation, interactive media, film and TV productions, all the way to the art and crafts such as museum, gallery management, warisan, which is the heritage, to traditional art. Okay, we are funding available. I think with this funding is actually like I will see it like providing the seed for design talents to actually get this support, okay, to start to be an entrepreneur.
So
okay?
How does the KDU University College tap into this opportunity? Do the educators encourage the students to make use of the funds?
So yeah, Pauline.
Well, set aside the fund itself, right? Because we have also done our own research. Back in 2012, we have found out that the employment in the creative industry registered a growth of 10%, and also there are more than 45,000 creative industry professionals being employed each year. So although in Malaysia, the creative economy is still a new practice in Malaysia, but if you have to compare to other countries, but I do see that there is a massive growth and a massive opportunities for the young entrepreneurs or the young designers to tap into. But set aside that, we at KDU, we also identified that the opportunities of molding the students, and giving them the opportunities to turn themselves from a designer into a designer entrepreneur. So, which is why we recently just came out with a program, which is what we call entrepreneurial design. We do see that, there is a huge gap between business and design. Well, based on what I see, perhaps business couldn't really see the value of design because they felt that, the designers didn't have the business mindset, which ensure a successful campaign. So, which is why we thought that coming out of this program, would really help the students and the young designers to bridge the gap between the business and the designer.
right.
Okay. Now, we're going to take a short break, and when we return, we'll delve deeper into the entrepreneurial design as a course offered at KDU University College. You're listening to Design on Bernama Radio24. This episode is brought to you by KDU University College. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The attitude about local talents not good enough has got to stop. Talented Malaysians deserve the spotlight. This is Evelyn He, founder of No Black Tie, and you tune in to 812 Live on Bernama Radio 24.
Welcome back to Designed on Bernama Radio 24. I'm Vivian Toh, and on this show this evening, we are speaking to Sir Shaw Hong and Pouline Koh of KDU University College. Now, earlier we were talking about the current situation of the creative industry in Malaysia as compared to the other countries in Asia. Now, let's talk about a bit more about the course that KDU University College is offering, the Entrepreneurial Design Diploma course. Perhaps Pouline can continue on with what she'd like to say.
Well, recently we have just launched a course, which is a diploma program, which is entrepreneurial design. So this is a 2-year program. And the reason why we are coming up with this program is because we discover a huge gap between the business and design. So, the paradigm has shifted in a way that the people used to say that designers, they don't have the business mindset, they work for other people, or they work as a in the background at a company. But the thing is that the paradigm has shifted. The public is starting to appreciate great design. And there are more opportunities as ever for the younger generation. So which is why we have seen this gap, and we will try and would like to bridge the gap and give more opportunities to the young designers or the young talents in Malaysia.
Okay. So since you designed the entrepreneurial design diploma course for KDU University College, you probably have a good sense of how this course should prepare the students. So how will the students be trained? In what areas?
Right. So KDU Entrepreneurial Design Program is basically a multidisciplinary program. And this program seeks to navigate the students, every student to be a thinking designer, to be a resourceful problem solver, and also an innovative entrepreneur. At the same time, we also see that the importance of the technology, the social media, the rise of the technology, the social media. So we also want to equip the students to have a strong knowledge in digital design to meet the market demand, which is why we have incorporated some modules such as scripting for designers, technopreneurship, multimedia and web design, so that the students are ready to dive into the design industry.
As soon as they have completed the diploma course?
Even before, even after.
So, basically, if you look at the the cost structures of this particular program, we actually structures the program based on 3 major components. So students will be trained, on their skill, we will of course train the students on their skill and technical knowledge. Okay, so we will also enhance students, on their contextual study, which is the design concept, and with the business and management component. So we emphasize on design skill, on the business sense, at the same time, we also want to make the the students basically, a multi-talents, entrepreneur.
Does it mean that the entrepreneurs these days are not as multi-talented?
Oh, definitely not. No, definitely not.
They should come to our diploma program.
Now, I'm aware that the diploma in this diploma course is endorsed by the Malaysia Design Council. So how does this play a role in shaping the course?
No, I think based on what I know, we are the only program, at this moment in Malaysia, that we work closely with the Malaysia Design Council. And on the launching of the program, we have invited, the director okay, of the Malaysia Design Council to come over to share with us, about the government policies, how we actually want to, structures the Malaysia art and design education. And he did mention about, okay, the program that, we are launching and running at this moment, okay, is the only one, okay, to concern, okay, or to bring in the substantial business component to, to create a designer that able, to be their own boss, to able to run their own business, okay? So it's not just, like a designer, because if we look around, okay, the like the courses available now, in Malaysia market, okay, to be honest, we want to be different, okay, we want to be different, and then we see, actually has, no significance, okay, to come out a similar, kind of program. So like after, the, like we have a brainstorming, and then we say, okay, this should be the right one, okay, for Malaysia at this time. And I'm seeing that, the golden era, like the golden times of Malaysia design development is coming, okay?
Well, we have covered almost on the education part of it. Yeah. I have confidence in what KDU University College is doing in designing a real quality diploma course for the students. Now, let's just focus a bit on the students. What does it take for students to become successful entrepreneurs?
For students to become a successful entrepreneur. Now, first, okay, now the students, I think when they come to our program, okay, basically, like one thing, like the training will be based on, okay, first, okay, is on the creativity. Okay, so we will, generate, to help students, okay, or work closely with students to generating new idea, okay, if evaluating them, effectively, ask students to take action to actually turn their creativity into a new product and services. Okay, so this is the first thing we encourage students to, not just only have an idea, okay, turn your idea really into something tangible, okay, really turning your idea into a product and the services. But that is not enough, because again, you will need to work together, with a strong collaboration, okay, connecting with the working from different partners, clients, significant player in the networking. Okay, and of course, the last thing, which is beside, the students, will be trained, to see how to transform their creativity, okay, how to work with others people, how to work with, all the key players based on the collaboration. The last thing, the entrepreneurship will be, training students to identify the right opportunity in the marketplace and using business skill to turn the idea into products, into profits. So, in 2 years' time, students will basically go through this process, okay? So cultivation, some creativities, okay, leading the students how to work on, collaborations, and at the end, of course, the students, will.
So this program will train or will groom the students to become entrepreneurs right away after they graduate their diploma?
Well, I think if you have to say when is the right time to embark to be an entrepreneur or a design entrepreneur, I think that's really up to the individual. Some might even start up a studio after graduate, or even having a side business or doing freelancing. Well, with this program, Entrepreneur Design, it simply gives the options and, offer the tools for graduate to succeed on their own way. Example, we try to integrate professional developments within the course. So this is a way to give students to produce artwork, and those artwork might have the potential to be a business right after.
Yes, and at the same time, okay, students coming to the diploma program, they will all have to go for a professional internship. And the internship in KDU University College at this moment, under the School of Communication and Creative Arts, we do it as project-based. So students will get involved, in many kinds of projects, okay, with the guidance from the the industry expert. We also invite the industry people to come in and share with the students. So I would say that from the very first day when they are joining the program, okay, the door is open for them. Okay, so they will begin they will pick up and how to be creative at the same time to manage their creativity and turn it into a tangible products of services.
I'm sure that you will be having an open day soon.
Not exactly open day, but our first intake is going to be next year, 2014, in January. So for those who are listening to the show right now, you can Google KDU Entrepreneurial Design, or you can visit our website at kdu.edu.ny. And we'll be happy enough to speak to you more information about our program.
We just spoke to Sir Shao Hong and Pouline Koh Chailin. Thank you so much really for the inputs, especially on the first few minutes you talk passionately about the creative industry. Thank you so much. We will see you. We hope to have you again on the show if possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you.
Two individuals from KDU University College who are fundamental in the creation of the entrepreneurial design diploma course for the institution and making sure they practice what they preach, being creative assets, as we all are, in the pursuit to turn more designers into creative assets with great potentials. I wish them luck in turning as many designers as possible into commercially viable creative assets. Now check out their website, kdu.edu.my, to find out more about the course. Now, we are not completely done yet. Coming up next is Zachary Roland Anthony, our special guest this evening, where he will share with us his thoughts in response to the topic of this evening, which is turning designers into creative assets for commercialization. But before that, if you are interested in music, arts, fashion, comedy, and visual design, make your way to Urbanscapes Festival this year. Worth checking out are the non-music acts, aka designers, architects, photographers, urban planners, and more. Visit urbanscapes.com.my for details. Stay tuned on Bernama Radio24. This is Designed.
The three most important things for me in my life, which I'm guided by to serve my constituents, is number 1, connected to the grassroots. Number 2, to stand by my principle. And number 3, to work real hard. And with all these three things put in place, success will be with you for the rest of your life. This is P. Kamalanathan, and you are now listening to Bernama Radio 24.
Hi, this is Farida American.
And this is Joe Hasham.
From Kuala Lumpur Performing Arts Centre.
And the Actors Studio and Penang Pack.
And you are now listening to Bernama Radio 24.
Bernama Radio 24.
Well, I'd like to say to you out there that the arts is a very important thing for all of us. Because if you do not enjoy the arts or do not become part of the arts, there is something missing in your lives, I believe.
Yeah, we would like you to nurture your creative thinking. That's what the arts is all about, creative thinking.
Thank you for supporting Malaysian theatre.
And thank you for supporting Bernama Radio 24.
Welcome back to Designed. The Urbanscapes Festival is not really far away from us. Make yourself available on the 23rd and 24th November for a good time at the Malaysian Agro Exposition Park, Serdang. That's MAEPS. Earlier, we had KDU University College to share with us their thoughts on developing designers as creative assets. Right now, let's hear from Zachary Roland Anthony, a certified educational trainer, professional MC, motivation speaker, writer, and assistant professor at University Tunku Abdul Rahman. What makes a person a valuable creative asset? This is the topic of this evening. Good evening, Roland.
Good evening, Vivian.
To the show. I know I'm so used to calling you sir. I hope you don't mind me calling you the same way on the show.
No problems at all, Vivian. Feel free.
So, sir, it's been 10 years since I stepped into Stanford College. Back when, I still remember, you were counseling me, explaining to me what were the courses.
Wow,
there.
that far back, huh?
Yes, but I was determined that I knew that I really wanted to delve into mass communication.
Yep.
Now, 10 years on, we unite in this recording studio. How do you feel about it, sir?
It is a wonderful experience, Vivian. Let me tell you that you are testimony to our topic today. Well, we have seen many kids. I've seen many kids come and go, but very few make an impression. Mm-hmm. And you standing here in front of me asking me these questions really brings out the best in me and tells me that I am in the right field. And yes, I've taken it to the next level. I don't only do academic teaching, but I'm also into training young minds, inspiring them that there's great potential out there. And there is no limit to achievement because the sky is the limit.
I'm happy that I can make my lecturer proud of me. Now, you did say that very few people that can actually make it in life. Now, why do you think it's so?
Well, I think the biggest factor that is affecting the young of today would be the lack of positive attitude. Attitude is what drives anyone to achieve greatness. I had a student once, and I'm sure you have heard about this guy, who never did well in college despite us talking to him. But today he is a senior creative director in a very reputable advertising agency in Malaysia. And when he met me last a few months ago, he told me that, you know what, there are a few things that you told me in class, sir, that inspired me. And it took me to this level today, and I'm this successful because of one or two things that you pushed me to do. And that was to be positive all the time, that there is no such thing as failure, because failure is success in the making.
Well, I guess realization steps in
Yep.
at a later stage or probably earlier for some people.
Yeah, for some people it takes time, and it takes time, and it really works that way. Simply because some are slow starters like me, for example. There are a lot of things that I'm doing today that I never did many years ago. Well, just to name a few, I never thought I'd be a writer, but today I'm actually writing my first book.
What is it about?
Yeah, it's on leadership. It's on leadership. It should be on the shelves next year, God willing. Yep. And I really hope that will inspire a lot of young leaders to be. It's because it's going to be right in the face kind of a book that tells you that, to be a leader, it is not, it's not just a wonderful status symbol. It is hard work, and it is about touching lives. And that's where leadership needs an awakening today, I believe.
So then, now we're talking about leadership. What do you think are the qualities that a successful person should have?
Well, if you're looking at...
First of all, how do you define success?
Well, for me, success is... it all depends on how you look at it. It's very subjective, but nothing comes easy in life. It's always hard work, isn't it, Vivian? Hard work pays off. I always tend to not accept this notion that smart work wins the day, because if you are just a smart worker, which means you are political in the way you work, it may not get you very far. It will get you places, but it may not sustain your ability to stay on, because hard work is what makes you learn from scratch, and it takes you to the next level.
So it's smart work and hard work together.
Yes.
What about luck?
That's another big word, isn't it?
Yes.
Luck, yeah. Well, I'll just share with you something.
All right.
That, I was lucky when I wanted to get into my dream job many years ago. That dream job was in advertising. Right. I had to go for about 35 interviews before I embarked in my dream job. But today, when I look back, I spent about 7-8 years in advertising. It's all because of my persistence and also some luck. Because on one particular day, like 20 years ago, 2 agencies called me at the same time offering me the job after 35 or 36 interviews later. And then I realized, yes, luck does play a part. But beyond luck, it's persistence.
I totally
Never
agree.
give up.
Yes.
Young people of today, never give up.
So looking at this, you know that the essence in being successful in life is persistence, determination.
Yep.
Well, with a little bit of luck put into it. But then now you are a totally different person. You are no longer in advertising.
Yep.
You are now embarking on a journey to teach. Now you are an assistant professor. But I'm more interested to know, how did you get involved in training? And
Okay.
what sort of training do you give?
All right. My focus areas would be in communication, dynamics of communication, attitude development, my favorite, image building, personal branding, creative power. Because with creativity, you are able to achieve dreams and make dreams of others come true. So creativity is such a powerful area to embark on. But the reason why I went into training, honestly, it was about the youth factor. Because when I see the youth of today, it's not that we never needed help, but help is needed by everyone. And the youth of today are looking for this inspiration to take them to the next level. And this inspiration is about having this positive thinking thrown into their lifestyle. A lot of them are into challenging lives today, not only in their careers, but in their personal lives. And it is always very important to be positive, to achieve your dreams. And this is where I told myself, look here, teaching academics is a lot easier than inspiring people to change their mind. And it's about changing mindsets that got me into training. And today I'm really happy to tell you, Vivian, that not only do I train people in big organizations, I also train a lot of young people in colleges and universities. And I've also become a motivational speaker in the process. Wow. And if you tell me that it's a bit too late to start anything new, it's never too late to start anything new.
Exactly.
Because life unfolds itself every day.
So you've been training lots and lots of people. What are your observations about the young generation of today?
Yeah, the biggest observation is this, the refusal to change because they are quite comfortable in what they are doing. They believe that whatever they have for now is sufficient to take them through life. But I believe there's more that they have to change because life is becoming more challenging today than it was like 20 years ago. But if you are not going to change, then you're going to be left behind. You're going to be stagnant, and change is the matter of progress.
So, that there's one thing that I don't know why, but you tend to have the power to get me glued to whatever you say, even since for the past 10 years.
Wow.
When I was in class, I loved when you were teaching PR,
really,
public relations. And now, after 10 years, we sat down at a coffee shop, and you started telling me about stories that this boy succeeded as a creative director.
Yes.
And also, what is really, I still remember that you said it's not only just the skills set that is important that can bring you that far, but it's also a combination of attitude and image. You want to talk on more of that? Yeah.
Well, let's talk about image. An image is beyond what you're wearing. It's beyond what you look like. It's very much image that starts with your heart. And image has a lot to do with communication. It's how you relate to people, because it's people's perception of you that actually develops your own image. It's how people look at you, and what you are projected in their minds is what image is all about. And yes, when you have a strong image with a positive attitude, you will go places. It's free. That's the beauty. And a lot of young people are saying, no, we've got to go and buy the most expensive clothes. We got to drive the flashy cars and live in big condos. That's symbol of success. But symbol of success is all about having a dynamic image supported by a great attitude. And if you have these two ingredients in your recipe book of life, you will never see the end of life, because life unfolds itself every day.
How can those two qualities, attitude and image, be groomed?
How could it be groomed?
Yes.
Well, it's about you wanting to change.
How bad you want it.
How bad you want it. Well, Vivian, your testimony that you really thought that change was imminent and it had to happen a long time ago. And look at you today.
It should have happened.
It should have happened. But you know what? Everything takes time. It's never too late. And everything has its time and place. Be happy.
So the training will be focusing on those two things?
Yeah, a lot of it is on attitude and image. Because I believe that is your persona, isn't it? Your personality relies heavily on these two things. Yep. So it's also about, Vivian, if I can add, just an advice to young people who think that life is really hard on them. Well, take each day as it comes. Never try to be better than what you are, because better becomes easier when you live each day through experience. And that's where we come in, the so-called older folk. We are not old, we are just wise. Wise enough to share these thoughts with people and telling them, look here, every day is a blessing because you learn things every day. People inspire you, situations inspire you. So learn from these things. These things books will never tell you. These things you learn from life. Never lose heart. Take each challenge as it comes, because with more challenges in your life, you can only become better. So try and try again.
I think one thing that kind of stops people from moving forward is the tendency to compare themselves with others.
Oh yeah.
Like how good this person is, and I don't think I can be better than that person. How can one break away from that thinking?
Well, I used to be like that many years ago. Then I realized I am not like anybody else, and no one is like me. And I have a lot of good people in my life to thank, because from one of my uncles who told me that the only way you're going to get up the ladder of success is to open your mouth and speak, Roland. That's how he called me. And he said, if you don't open your mouth and speak, you're not going to go places. So that's a change of attitude for me. Don't compare yourself, because comparing yourself will only make you feel bad. All right? There's always a time when you'll be better. Like I tell my kids, today I'm standing in front of you, not as a lecturer, but as a guy who's sharing information and experience with you. One day you're going to do greater than me. Just don't forget my name.
I will remember you, sir. I will remember to speak more often, have more shows.
Thank you so much, Vivian. It's been great. It's been great.
Very well said. We just spoke to Zachary Roland Anthony, a certified educational trainer. It's been a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Likewise.
Especially finding out what really makes a person a valuable creative asset. We have come to the end of Designed for this evening. What better way than to end it with an invitation for you to spend an afternoon with Bill Keith, an exceptional creative asset of the fashion industry in Malaysia. Details of the event will be uploaded on the Facebook page. Now, the Facebook page website is facebook.com/designed939. Drop us a message too. Let us know your thoughts on this evening's show. This episode is brought to you by KDU University College. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week for another edition of Designed. Meantime, check out the snippets of this show on cutoutmag.com/designed, produced by Musho Fixo, the Ideas Agency. On that note, I'm Vivian Toh. See you next week. This is Designed on Bernama Radio 24.